bottom half of the slide, which he referred in the morning, where like how this hybrid model zoo is coming into picture when we have to look at the whole agentic ecosystem. And specifically, we talk about large language models or small language models, to an extent, domain language model. Now we also have something called as compressed language models, all coming together. And if we truly look at the enterprise language, there is an opportunity to create an enterprise language model as well. But having said that, there is also equally important piece, which is the enterprise AI governance, where the cost of these LLMs and models are going rocket high. There is no control in terms of security. There is no controls in terms of guardrails. And if you look at all these agents coming together, are going to become like more headless chicken agents, what we call, and we have seen that in the past of RPA era, where the citizen developer program has created those many bots, and they were uncontrollable. I'll take a step back and talk about more on the in the enterprise point of view, what's happening and why is it happening. So if you look at the maturity curve for any enterprise on the AI journey, it starts with the beginning. Most of the enterprises right now are in the stage 2 and stage 3, where they've started something as a pilot or initiative day. I want to do something in AI. They are experimenting. They are practicing with 1 or 2 use cases, but they are struggling to scale up. Their aspiration is to become an AI-first organization, which means the AI-first mindset. It's a cultural shift. Anything which internal or external customers are experiencing, it has to be AI-first. So they need to see an organization to become a truly AI-delivered organization. Back in days, when digitalization was happening, every organization was trying to become a digital organization. After that, like it became mobile-first organization, then cloud-first, and now is the time when like enterprises are looking for becoming an AI-first organization. This is a slide which is a typical funnel for identifying any use cases, and the reason is like, yeah, board is coming and asking the CEOs and CXOs of the organization, hey, what are you doing in AI? There's a competition threat, there's a market trend which is coming up. All those goes into the ideation pool. And once the ideas are being validated, it goes into the experimentation or the pilot phases, and based on the success of those pilots, it gets into the value realization. I'll double click on this in terms of how we do it with our customers. So we contextualize these ideas based on the industry, based on the functions. Then we also look at the component, which is technology, people, and processes. What is the right technology to implement these use cases, right? How do we kind of enable people to use this technology to improve the process? And the 6 value parameters which we focus on is cost, revenue, risk, sustainability, efficiency, and of course the innovation piece, which truly differentiate the organization. This is a different perspective which is also coming up in the industry, where any enterprise you look at it, they are not one OEM shop. You will see almost all the OEMs are kind of bringing their own agentic flavors, including some of the custom development which individual companies are doing, and GCs are actively participating in building these agents. And guess what? This is the future of most of the enterprises, where agent chaos or agent fatigue is going to happen, where platforms are kind of coming up with their own agents. You are trying to build your own custom agents, you are trying to onboard some third-party solutions with known LLMs and known LLMs, which is going to spike up your cost. And this chaos is going to cost GCC significantly. Now, if you look at it, the citizen developer program for agents is also going to add on to this madness. And in the shorter run, agent is going to get commoditized. We will not require to kind of build agents. It will be available like mobile application development happening in every nooks and corners. At the same time, if you look at more agent does not mean more intelligence. So we have to think differently. Now, this is a challenge which most of the boardroom is talking about. Why they need AI is very much clear to them, what they want to achieve. What is also very clear to them, but they are all talking about how do we do it. And this is what I'm going to present in terms of how to AI. So if you look at most of the teams, which are like smaller in nature, when they do experimentation, they succeed. And they're happy about it, like I have solved this use case with using Copilot or some other solution. And the reason is, there is a least resistance, right? They are ready to fail fast, they're adopting these technologies pretty fast, and kind of seeing some results. But there is something happening at the enterprise IT level as well, where they are getting cold feet. And the reason is this siloed approach. There are agent sprawls coming up from different places. There is a shadow AI which is kind of building up in the background, the security risk. Do I trust this third-party software or not? The LLM risk. And broadly, we have categorized into 3 buckets. The first one being security and compliance. Can I trust these LLMs which are like taking the data out, right? Can I control all these or orchestrate all these agents which are coming from different systems? Cost and efficiency, how do I control these unmonitored LLM expenses? All of a sudden, as a CIO, I just get the bill on the first of every month saying that this is my AI spend, and somebody is asking me the justification of ROI versus this cost. We all think that, yeah, LLM is a magic, and one LLM can fix everything when it comes to AI, but it's not the reality. And then the bigger question is, who is the owner of this AI solution? Is it business or is it IT? And but reality is IT gets the first question when it comes to the costing risk. Lastly, in terms of future and readiness, how do I scale these unmonitored and floating agents in the organization? How do I kind of bring scalability, governance, observability in the ecosystem? And most importantly, I have been talking to so many customers where they have brought in some technologies and they're asking us to help us all in the adoption, which means the tools are there, but adoption is becoming a real pain for the organization. So on one side, their strategy is very clear. On the other side, the ROI is what they want to achieve is also very clear. And the gap, what we're trying to say is every organization is going to need this enterprise governing layer, which has to have the secured and scalability built into it. The practical AI use case. Not every use case is an AI use case. It can be automation as well. So we need to identify the right practical AI use cases, build right governance framework, also have an adoption framework to get the visibility in terms of if the adoption is not happening, why it's not happening, do team need prompt engineering, training, or some kind of easy way to kind of adopt to the technology. And lastly, the FinOps for AI. When cloud came, it became an issue where like cloud cost was going high, everybody was kind of spinning off their servers, etc. This is the same thing which is going to happen with AI. When you open that for citizen developer program, people will start consuming some or the other LLM services, which is going to shoot costs for the organization. Hence, you need a governance framework which also controls the FinOps for AI, and ultimately which impacts the ROI for the organization. And I'll just kind of take a moment in terms of how AI first organization will look like in future. And it's an easy depiction of personas. So if you look at every organization is having different personas in the organization. It can be CXOs, employees, your managers, your business leaders, and maybe the external interactions as well with dealers, suppliers, and how they interact with the organizations are these applications. Right? It can be your ERP application, it can be your web-based application, your desktop applications, or many other business process applications. And some kind of chatbots are now coming, and when they are also interacting with the agents and the applications. Now there are two ways to kind of bring the AI in this ecosystem, and all these applications are going to become AI enabled in some shape or form, or there will be new application coming in this application which will become the new user interface for these users. There are one set of agents which are coming up in the agentic framework is all these OEMs where they have launched their own agentic framework, being Salesforce, being Oracle, being SAP, where there are native agents helping these OEMs become more productive and giving out-of-box solutions so that the data doesn't go out, while they also have tweaked the licensing model. Second category is you start building your custom agents using some of the Azure Foundries of the world or Amazon Bedrocks of the world. And some companies have also started building their own platform for the agents, which means their platform will have some agent development capabilities. They will run on the knowledge base of the organization. They will also have some enterprise data sitting on maybe SQL Server, some Oracle databases. And then in the bottom layer, they will have their own infrastructure to support the LLM Zoo, plus having their own GPUs in their data center. Some have gone further, building an orchestration layer, which we heard in some of the sessions that orchestration is must. Yes, you need an orchestration layer when it comes down to multiple agents. so that each agent can talk to each other. You also need an agentic workflow, so that when we're talking about business process workflows, one system needs to talk to other system, which means one agent may be sitting in SAP, something created as a custom agent, they need to talk to each other. And that is where like these kind of protocols which are coming, which is A2A and MCP, which allows you to run across these native agents and the custom agents, which has an integration layer built into it, and also DevSecOps. More importantly, this is the layer which I have been referring to from the beginning, where like this is the layer which is missing. Moment you have this agent flood coming up, you need an environment to control this thing, and that is where the enterprise IT is worried about. Where even for this side, where it's out-of-box agents, how do I optimize the license cost? How do I ensure the adoption is happening whatever I've invested in, let's say, Copilots or Joules, right? They need that visibility. Similarly, on the custom agents, they also need the observability. What is happening? Who is using which agent? Which user is actually consuming how much token cost? That kind of granularity is going to help them in adoption, your FinOps, running the LLMOps from the same platform. So when people are giving feedback, how do you kind of fine tune the model? If the one model is not working, there's a new model out there, how do easily you can switch the model without disturbing the agent? So you need that LLMOps, you need monitoring, controlling, responsible AI. One of the key things which is needed is the responsible AI in your agents and the whole agentic ecosystem. All these things, if you get in single platform, is what we have developed, and some of the things which you have patented are offered by YASH. We can help you build one. And with the last note, this is the takeaway I would like some of the GCC leaders to take away. To start thinking on kind of building an enterprise AI governance. Take a leap, because the CIO desk is not thinking that way. I spoke to 50 CIOs, and wherever I showed this, they are saying that you are thinking 2 years ahead of the thing because we are not there. But maybe this is an opportunity for GCC to start picking up and take it to the headquarters. Look for the FinOps for AI. Yes, everybody is excited to play with the toy, but it's going to cost. And if you are not able to kind of manage those costs with different agents, it's going to hurt enterprise badly. And last one is like, if you can contribute towards building an enterprise language model, that will be the biggest contribution coming from India. Having said that, like it's the GCCs who are going to kind of try are the one which that manages the changes best. So with that, I'd like to conclude, and thank you very much for listening and thank you.